Okay, there we go. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, Luca Blight here, and I'm joined with a few friends of mine where we discuss RWBY Volume 6, Episode 5. I almost said 5. Episode 6.
We discussed RWBY for about 5 minutes, then we divulged into random topics.
Yeah, that's so RWBY Volume 6, Episode 7, where we meet the Grimm Reaper.
Actually, like, I was gonna say, like, we can say we divulge into normal topics because of the last episode there wasn't much going on, but there's actually a decent chunk of stuff to talk about this episode.
Yeah, like 3 different plots going on in this one.
I know. Yeah, 3 different ones, so that's the biggest issue.
So many plots and schemes. So I guess we'll start with Cinder and Neo. So I think it's pretty obvious that one of the two of them's going to backstab each other eventually.
Oh, I hope they do.
Speaking of Cinder, I still don't like Nigiri's voice acting.
Yeah.
No. There's no salvaging that mess.
Yeah, Neo's voice acting is better, honestly.
Neo has the best voice acting in this series. Come on, man.
I know.
Don't insult her by comparing her to Jessica Nigri.
She also emotes better than fucking Cinder.
Also, I know that Animation Elf really liked the facial animations, and I did too. But that big eye animation from Yang and Weiss was terrible.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get to that eventually. But starting from the top, now we here.
My thing with Neo is they cannot really make a deaf or a mute character really likable. Like
the only way you do that is Kami-san is bad at communication. That's the only time it works.
I love that.
That's only because it's a manga and half of all of her expressions are shown on screen.
Well, that's the thing. Expressions. Like, what does Neo express? Like, all she did in this one is kind of give like a blank stare at the vault, and then.
Well, to be fair, Cinder's voice has that effect on people.
Yeah, I think she's like, when will this bitch shut up?
But you understand my problem. Like, they don't do any sign language. They don't have her like do really out there expressions. She just mutes. Like, it's boring.
Episode 5, I thought she did pretty good with her emoting and stuff. But yeah, this episode, I definitely see what you mean. She kind of had a blank expression, not really reacting to anything Cinder was saying.
I guess all the effort went somewhere else.
Which, by the way, I have a problem with. I have a big problem with.
The fight scene?
Yes.
Was it the part where she got beat up by a mook, or was it?
That is one of the problems, but one of the things of, I'm this Lady Maria gravity scythe knockoff, and then suddenly, I could have just flashed my eyes and suddenly the entire problem's sorted. I didn't even have to do any of that. I didn't have to expend any energy or aura.
The Deus and Deus Ex Machina.
Yeah, but then it wouldn't be cool.
Yeah, but about that. You know what I like about series like, say, Game of Thrones? They make logical plays look really fucking cool. Like, I'm sorry, half the time where you see a series of like just the one character who's like 100% logical, 100% like thinks everything through, like the chess master, when they like show that they went straight for the pragmatic approach and did as little effort to finish the problem at all, I'm sorry, that puts a lot more agency on a character than simply, this character is a really badass fighter. Yes, that's cool, but I appreciate one far more than the other. That might just be my taste.
Or they turn to Littlefinger and die randomly at the end.
I think they should have made the cockneyed accented crocodile chick.
Luca, her name is Talk the Cockney Croc the Hedgehog.
Wait, what?
Oh my god, she's a Sonic character, really?
Yes. Her from her name to her design, she feels like a Sonic OC.
Yeah, I can see it, especially since I know who you're talking about.
Wow.
In fact, I'm willing to bet somebody's probably shipping it right now.
Probably. No, but I kind of thought that Talk should have had more of a backstory. Like, maybe have Maria's backstory explained in 2 different episodes, especially since we're probably going to be sitting in Argus for a while. Like, have her explain who this person was and that they had a heated rivalry or some shit.
Or maybe it'll be revealed later on that Talk somehow magically survived that stab wound, and we'll get a grandma.
Oh no, she decapitated her. That bitch is
that
dead.
was a straight decapitation.
I thought it hit her back, but
It hit her back, and then she
Guys,
decapitated her with the other one.
It was just a flesh wound, though. She'll be fine.
We talking about the Maria fight currently?
Yeah.
With TikTok goes to Croc.
Yeah, having actually seen the, I looked at the scythe movements. They looked like they do how you would pretty much use like a weapon like that. They look.
Hang on a second. Now I recognize those weapons. Those are the weapons that Death was using in Darksiders too.
Yeah.
Sickles. Well, sickles, scythes. I don't know what the proper term for those weapons are, but
Sickles
even the way she brought them together kind of looked like his.
Oh, I think Lightning in Hand won a bet because they did Darth Maul it.
Well, to be fair, that is kind of logical. Like, have you seen what people?
Darth Maul's weapon is not logical.
No. Let me rephrase that. Like, here's the thing. There are examples of weapons in real life forming whole arm length weapons when combined. Like the hook swords, for example, in Chinese combat can hook the ends together and make a longer attack. But that's very difficult. This seems, well, with the technology, it seems more likely. Plus,
the problem with the hook sword argument is that they kind of make a bending weapon like a nunchuck. This is a long pole arm with the dual blades on both your end and your attacking end. It would bring more harm to you if you botch it.
That's fair. Although I did like the gravity usage. The gravity usage looked pretty nice. And
I think Maria going blind would have worked better if it was just like one of Salem's goons from the past or something.
Well, apparently it was one of Salem's goons.
Yeah, because she said my master. So yeah.
I was thinking hired Merc, but yeah.
Yeah, I was getting more of a
the term boss or master. Like it's kind of implied that these were.
But I do have a problem with that. Why was Salem wanting Maria dead, and then she wants Ruby alive? Like, why specifically Maria? Why specifically Ruby?
Because Ruby's the main character.
She has main character coon powers.
Yeah,
that's admittedly weird, but to be honest, I'm just kind of on a high about how the fight was actually pretty good. Like the way that she flows with her stuff. It kind of reminds me of that one Castlevania fight you showed us our screen with the
sticks.
Yeah,
with the crow.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of that, the sort of flow of it. Which, to be fair, with weapons like short scythe-like weapons, you kind of expect movements like those.
But you want to know what it didn't? What it didn't have though, Isa?
What?
That good charisma.
Yeah.
Like the way I thought they should have gone about her backstory is like show her be this big, awesome badass, build her up as this badass. That way, when you do it in the next episode, theoretically, you show her downfall. So it makes the character that actually, takes her surprise away seem that much more intimidating and that much more scary. When Maria,
they rely on the aura flickering though again to like say, okay, now she's in trouble. Like now she's.
That's why. That's why I fucking hate aura so much. It's so contrived and it's literal plot armor.
Yeah, definitely. Anime handles the sort of invulnerable shield mechanics better. Like, hell, Ava with the AT field is handled better, because there are stuff that can pierce an AT field.
Honestly, it would have been better if, like, Mario's really exhausted or something. Like, 4 guys fighting her? Didn't really seem like she was very exhausted.
I was thinking something more like Dynasty Warriors. Like Salem sent like 40 of them, and she got weary, and then one slip up, and boom, she's.
Yeah, that would have worked better than what we got. But
it's like this legendary huntsman that inspired Crow, who in turn inspired Ruby with the weapons and shit.
And gets beat up by 4 mooks.
Yeah, like if she was a pre-planned character, they definitely should have made some allusions to her, like in volumes 1 through 5 at some point.
Like I think like when Ruby said, "Oh, that's my Uncle Crow," to make a small aside, like, although I think Crow learned this weapon from someone else. or something like that.
Or just say the school of that scythe style, even though they used completely different styles between the three of them.
Well, it's a weapon class, and to be fair, weapon classes have similarities, but
yeah, but Maria does a two-handed style, Crow does a broadsword to gun to long final dash scythe style, and RWBY
also it's a small, like each is like the size of a hand axe. Not really a pole arm.
I actually do until they combined, but yeah, I actually think that the shorter weapons are more practical because, long weapons you have the issue of momentum, reach, and the like. But I think would know better about this. Correct?
For like scythe combat, like all in all, a scythe is like in terms of a choice of weapon, a scythe is
garbage,
pathetically garbage. Like, you need the number of things that you need. Oh, sorry, what?
I was more asking the principle of long versus short weapons.
Oh yeah, if you have a longer weapon, you have a better reach and you have advantage that way. But if you sacrifice control, stability, and all around, honestly, versatility, because there's not much you can do with a longer weapon. The only exception to this is a spear, and it's very hard to mess up a spear and just stick them with the pointy end.
I mean,
unless you're using a spear like Hoo Lane, in which case you have a lot of stuff to mess up.
Utterly bullshit. So.
Real quick, how old was Maria in that flashback?
Not a clue.
She looked like
20s, 30s, maybe.
Older than 20, less than 40. I
guess.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is that RWBY does a terrible job of showing characters' age. Maria's like the first character that shows genuine aging. So she could have been 30. She could have been 40. She might even have been 50. Like, who the hell knows?
She somehow became a midget too.
No, the midget thing is because of the anime. Anime does a lot of short people are short.
Well, apparently it's real if you actually see like the Japanese elderly. Like it's because of rice fielding work and.
But she's not Japanese though.
Yeah, but I don't know that.
But the trope transferred into anime.
Age. You're like.
They don't know the trend is because of an actual Japanese reality. Like they think it's just anime.
You do get shorter as your age, as your as you age, you kind of get more hunched over, and your spine kind of depresses a little bit.
But not that short.
Her legs too, though.
Oh, you got me there.
Well, I mean, look at what's his name in My Hero Academia, the speed guy.
Oh
yeah.
I mean that dude.
Gran Torino.
Gran Torino, like that dude.
That dude went from about All Might height to
barely to his knees.
Yeah.
Like I can understand them getting shorter with age, but the legs getting shorter too.
Yeah, like getting shorter because your spine's bent, fine. Getting shorter because your entire body shrinks, that makes no sense. Although, tropes. It's a bad usage of tropes. So, although one thing I did like about the fight with Maria is that they actually used the dust in a way that seems kind of interesting.
Was it dust? Because that wasn't clear to me. Was that?
It was gravity.
Semblance?
It was gravity dust, I think.
Well, because I asked that because the way that she uses the dust isn't like anchored. Like it spins around her hand at one point.
She probably learned how to manipulate the gravitational fields of each of them, or momentum. Because
how does she manipulate them?
Guys, let's be real here. It's pretty obvious. Maria's a Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of. I mean, to be fair though, I do like the way that the weapon incorporated power usage. Like RWBY herself doesn't use the scythe in a way that would be indicative of a speed user. Maria uses her weapons far more useful compared to a weapon that can be pulled and pushed.
Yeah, she's more of a dexterous,
Yeah, she's a dex build instead of RWBY's, who should be a speed blitzer.
You know what's sad about Maria?
What?
All right, so they initially show her as this badass. Professional huntsmen always get their asses kicked. She got her ass kicked in this episode. Therefore, the trope continues that graduated huntsmen still get their asses kicked.
Well, no, it's not only that. The trope continues of this character is badass. JK lol, they get chopped. It happened to Amber. It happened to Crow.
Wait, was Amber really a badass?
Not really.
She was.
Well, Amber was built up to be a badass because we have the implicit fight. Oh, she's a maiden. Maidens are supposed to be badass. Nope, jobbed in her first fight.
If she's so badass, why can't she fire from her mouth? Like shoot fire from her mouth?
That's a very good question.
But
like, if you can shoot it from your palms, you can shoot it from your mouth.
In theory, as long as you have the right channeling mechanism or visualization, you can channel your power.
They have not done chi channeling in Aura. Like that's
the day they do that is the day they actually sit down and
formulate a combat style.
I was gonna say a concrete way semblance in Aura works, and we all know that's not gonna happen.
No.
Like, do they need to wave their arms around to summon a gust of wind?
I don't know. Usually, the logic I see in shows about why people have to use arm movements or words is because it allows for visualization and implicit triggering. Well, the masters that don't need to move their arms or speak are basically people who have understood the technique back and forth.
That, or it's like chi via avatar, where you're actually emitting your chi into the world, and you're actually using might to, do the correct movements to actually create.
Like, most of the time, from what my research is dubbed for, like the reason why people do the whole exaggerated hand movements, where that started, was that they were trying to emulate actual stances and stuff from traditional martial arts.
And adapted into a more visual medium or a more exaggerated medium.
Yeah, that's essentially what everything comes out to. So
yeah,
and all the reasoning that comes from like visualization and technique stuff is afterwards. So,
is there anything that we're forgetting in this episode?
John has a lesbian sister.
Yeah. Well, before we get to that, I would like to actually praise RT here, because what's her face, the chameleon girl thing, she at 6:08 she presses the button on the minute timer, and at 7:08 the alarm goes off. So good job for actually
making it a minute long.
I just wanted to, so we're not just shitting on them,
Yeah,
they did something right.
I also like John's sister Saffron and Tara, because it was a lesbian relationship, but it wasn't forced on us. It was just like, oh, they're lesbians.
But honestly, who the hell cares, though?
I mean,
I don't.
Sometimes the best representations are the small ones.
No, it's not that. It's just the fact, like, do we really need to know all this stuff about his sister?
Well,
no, but
not
I guess.
The only reason
they did Chekhov's gun with her wife. She works at the military facility. They're barred out of the military facility. Ergo, she's their ticket in.
Then why not just have them meet up with her? Why does John's sister need to be there?
Well, okay.
The entry to it.
Yeah.
I've heard that in storytelling, sometimes the straight way is not always the best way.
And you know what that is? Wrong.
Well,
because you plan out the straight way. It depends on the characters as if they take the straight way. That's the rule.
Oh, my bad. I just remember hearing that sometimes in a story, sometimes the most straightforward way isn't always the most entertaining. Or at least something like that. To
me, it fits because even though I know a lot of you don't like him, John is still part of the main group. Him having his sister be there ties it in. It helps it make sense. Like, oh, okay, his sister lives here. Now we have a place to stay. And his sister has a wife who also happens to work in the relay tower or whatever. So she knows the whole thing about Atlas barring people from entering. So to me, it fits perfectly fine. They can just be these two minors.
Yeah, I can see your point.
It's a little too convenient, though.
No,
actually, I have another point to make. Did anyone, when they saw the inside of Argus, think San Francisco, like the building design and the tram?
I was thinking France or England.
Or, guys, let's be honest. It was actually San Francis, not France. I can't think of a good name.
Fail.
That's what really got
the movie theater looks like a very French style, but I've seen that in California as well, that artsy style of theater. So
yeah,
I mean,
it's definitely a San Francisco.
It definitely had
the poop everywhere.
It definitely had French vibes coming from it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or Spanish, because the buildings are more Spanish.
Well, they also have trolleys.
Yeah, the trolley system is what makes it San Francisco for me.
Yeah, and the hills, it was pretty hilly.
So, going over to those facial expressions, those big eyes on Yang and Weiss are the creepiest goddamn things I've ever
seen. Yeah.
Faces are weird.
Also, you know who I wanted to see? I wanted to see, the father of that child. You know,
the surrogate father.
Maybe, or maybe they could have done the thing where they took the 2 eggs and blended the DNA together to make a child.
Or adoption.
Going back to the face thing real quick. Yeah, like a lot of the faces were okay, but then they get to those big eyes and just ugh.
It doesn't fit with 3D as well as 2D.
Yeah.
Also, that eating animation, that was
Hold on.
That was like volume 1 levels of bad.
Someone has to tell RT to stop doing food. Like, seriously.
Yeah.
It just disappears when she takes a bite.
Like, here's the thing. It's like, what was that? There's this one show I'm watching, Today's Menu for the Emiya family, that's all about the characters eating food and cooking food. And the animation there looks good, but I don't know. Why on earth, when there's so many references on how to eat food, do they mess up?
Well, because they're cheating it. They cheat a lot of shit, but eating is like a very delicate process in animation. Like in, out,
you have to close the
things
mouth,
minus, things plus.
Yeah, I guess it's just.
But plus, in general, eating isn't an attractive thing to look at.
There are some people that have a fetish for that.
Good food. It's more it's more the facial reactions of seeing people eat good food. Like that was the main appeal of the Emiya family thing. It's just like, oh, Emiya cooked something good and people enjoy it.
I think the worst aspect is always going to be the eating noises, especially Nora's. Nora's eating noises are the worst.
At least they got the timing right, as opposed to Volume 5.
With her scratchy voice, it's just terrible. Oh yeah, guys, just remember something. That scene of Blake hugging Sean and Ren and Yang hugging. What the hell?
Are they trying to ship or are they just doing something? I don't know.
I don't know if that was meant for shipping bait or if that was just supposed to be a genuine moment.
I
felt weird.
I think it should have been flipped because Ren and Blake seemed like they would get along more, whereas Yang and Sean have at least interacted before.
At least given the whole Yang's mom statement.
That too.
Yeah. Actually, I'm curious about something. When everyone saw the wall of the city, did anyone else think like Ba Sing Se or Attack on Titan or any other big wall cities from other media?
More Attack on Titan than Ba Sing Se.
I don't mind the walls because the universe makes sense for all the cities to have walls.
Yeah, it's the only capital city we've seen that has walls.
Actually, it's a non-capital city apparently.
Yeah, it's an independent state.
We've seen.
Actually, I think it's a client city of Atlas. Like they have autonomy, but Atlas kind of controls security there.
Which is I thought weird because again, we haven't seen what a country actually looks like in Asia inspired.
I thought the Argus thing was more.
I thought Choro-Yuri is supposed to be Asian.
Yeah.
Also, I thought Argus was technically Mistral, but the Alesian military maintains a presence there. Sort of like how Okinawa might be a good example. It's an American base in Japan where the Japanese live, but the Americans maintain a heavy presence.
Yeah, that might be it.
Yeah, I think you might know a bit better about this, Luca, than I do. So.
Well, the way it works with that, it's like we have bases in other countries for operations against Russia, whatever the case may be, and the governments of both the United States and the host country have a say in what goes on in the base, but generally they adhere to the host country's laws. So the 2 bases in Japan, we adhere more to Japanese law than to American law over there because we're on Japanese soil.
But there's still the U.S. government presence,
right?
The military.
Yeah,
right.
The only place that doesn't apply is in like an actual embassy for that nation.
But embassies are special cases. So.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
What else is there? I do think though that Mario should have had more of an illusion in the previous volumes, like the Grim Reaper's visage in like books or media, or just do what John Wick did. It's like have the name Grim Reaper just elicit a reaction out of people, like how. In the movie
Baba
John Wick,
Yaga.
you just say John Wick and everyone knows, oh.
Baba Yaga.
Yeah, basically.
Or have I was thinking like Ruby's she takes inspiration from all the hunters and huntresses of past and whatnot. Why not have some memorabilia of her in Volume 3?
Not her mother. She takes inspiration from everybody except her own mother.
I forgot her mother even exists half the time. Okay.
Well, there's also a problem with the idea of legends in RWBY, where we only really know about them after the fact, like when they've been presented.
Yeah, like John Wick was a much more constructed world than this. And John Wick is weird because John Wick is a pure action film, but it has a much better constructed world.
Like, they said at one point that Ruby's mother was supposed to be like this really good huntress. No mention of her after that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she was just a really great mom, you guys.
Yeah, like she was super mom. And then Ruby's mom left too. Young grateful bitch.
Let's be honest, she was housewife. She was that's all she was.
I mean, to be fair, some animes have the housewife secret badass thing work.
I know.
Well.
Yeah, but that's a trope.
Yeah. Full Metal comes to mind with that.
Yeah, like being a housewife isn't necessarily the worst thing. Just give them a bit more personality, and
I mean,
yes,
it's
like
okay.
But like that one lady from Full Metal Alchemist that was being mentioned, the mentor to Alphonse and Edward.
Oh, Zumi Curtis.
Yeah, Zumi.
Yeah, she's a housewife, but she's also a badass.
She's a housewife by choice. Like that's not her natural environment. Like she's doing that because she wants to fulfill like a personal fantasy of herself to be the loving housewife, even though she's basically a one-woman, army squadron. Yeah, and she's like one of the most professional alchemists in the world outside of literal immortals.
Right. Yeah.
She outpaces most immortals.
Yeah.
But the point still stands. It's like Summer should be like that. It's like Summer is like.
Summer should be something. Summer is just a name right now.
Yeah.
It feels like it would be too late if we just got one now.
Yeah.
Well, we haven't even mentioned the name Summer since Volume 3. So yeah.
No. There was Volume 5 where Raven gives the "You sound like just like your mother."
Oh, yeah, true.
But that wasn't.
It's almost like your mother is a carbon copy of you. I mean, the other way around. No, wait, you came first, so it's actually that way.
Chicken or egg or Ruby.
Yeah, but I can see potential like this RWBY Volume 6. It's like beyond the episode 3 is actually pretty good. It's actually trying to put an effort in the fights and the character moments.
Yeah, that's good. That's what's keeping me going.
Yeah.
Effort.
But whether it actually holds it up for the next few seasons or even the next few episodes is to be seen.
Well, I mean, by this point with Volume 5, I was kind of like, okay, this volume's starting to lose me. This volume has kept my attention from start to finish so far, and we're halfway through it.
Like even Volume 3, for how bad that was by some people's standards, was interesting in some aspects. Like it was a fascinating bad. So
actually, so if Summer Rose actually does make an appearance and she has Ruby's voice, how would you guys react?
Oh, I would be annoyed.
I'd be like, is this a Goku Goten situation?
Okay, about that at least, the whole point of that was because Toriyama wanted to make a joke. So like that has an excuse. This is just that would just be sad.
A grown woman that has her daughter's voice.
That would actually be a little creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I wouldn't mind a voice like Ruby's, but tones down a register and more sultry or mature.
Okay, actually, I don't want like direct parallels. Like, how many people sound exactly like their parents?
Good point. Like, I sound nothing like parents. So.
Yeah, I sound nothing like mine either.
But at the same time, though, in media, you typically want a vocal connection. So.
Yeah, but that's a problem in media.
That's a huge problem, though. Personally, like. The connections between the connections between parent and child should be in mannerisms, slight personality similarities, and ideals, not
voice.
Yeah.
Or physicality. Like, there's nothing wrong with kids looking at their parents.
Oh, physicality, yes.
Speaking of familia, I still don't see it. Like, even with that Tai Yang and Yang thing, I still didn't see it.
Yeah. Like, Yang and RWBY don't share enough body structure similarities.
Well, they all share the same anime style too much, so that you can't actually determine what's them and what's just the format. Or
it's the entire family, though. I don't feel anything between Tai, Yang, and RWBY.
I mean, for crying out loud! Oh god, I just realized something stupid. Are they going to do the same joke from? Does anyone know of Index Misaka? Does anyone know what her mom looked like?
Oh, I've seen it. I know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks basically like her an older sister. If they do that joke with Summer, they're going to do that joke, aren't they? They're going to make
I hope not.
Well,
considering we saw for that joke to really even
considering we saw a picture of Summer once, she's basically RWBY with slightly longer hair and a white cape.
We've only seen
the crow photo. The crow photo.
Yeah, but even that, it's just her cowl in her eyes, showing that she has silver eyes.
Well, considering that Raven is a copy-pasted version of Yang, just a little bit taller.
No, she's
a recolor.
Oh, you bastard! Got beat me with a punch.
But yeah, still, I am curious about what they'll do with Atlas. I don't know. It's like I legit.
We're not getting there this season. Like that's pretty obvious, isn't it?
I meant with Argus, but it's like I legit would love to see. I don't know. It's like the culture of Argus feels weird. It's not Asian inspired, which I guess is a problem when you're set in Mistral, but it feels like
Western.
a nice mix. It feels like a nice modern city. It's with the tram and the. I don't know if those are French or Spanish style buildings. I honestly can't tell.
Well, when I saw like some of the buildings and the way the streets and all that shit looked, it made me think a bit of like New Orleans from the late 1800s or something like that.
But the hills and trams along with buildings remind me of Cisco.
Actually, guys, real quick, do you think there was an ulterior motive behind those hug scenes?
You mean like shipping?
Yeah,
pandering. With
all of them, actually.
The Lancaster one, yeah, definitely.
I do not see Jean and Blake as a pairing at all. That's never going to happen.
Wait, Lancaster's RWBY and John.
Yes.
They had a hug.
Yeah.
They just stared at each other.
They've never even talked before.
Okay. Also, John's just a crybaby. I'm sorry. Like, he was way too overly emotional for them just showing up.
Not to mention the whole overreacting to his sister thing. It's like I get it. You get teased by your older sister. I get that. And he's
nobody reacts that way to their sisters teasing them.
No, I genuinely cringed when he like started arguing with her.
Especially when his arms turned into
noodly arms.
I mean, yes. I still think this is better sibling relationship than RWBY and Yang. So
yeah,
I mean, they actually have a relationship. So
they're kind of. It looks like they're kind of stealing from the Loud House. If any of you guys are familiar with that.
Yeah.
No.
One of those classic family comedies.
No, it's a modern Nickelodeon cartoon with the premise being a boy with 10 sister siblings.
Well, I would actually be kind of curious about how a person would be like in a family of older siblings. How would they grow? Especially if some of the sisters are domineering or more dominant.
Doesn't Todoroki from MHA have a shitload of sisters?
Yeah.
Todoroki has one sister.
Oh.
He has one sister and a brother.
One brother and a red herring. Like that's how Todoroki's family works.
Wait, hang on. They said that Jean's dad knew how to fight, right?
Yeah.
No idea.
Why didn't he teach his kids how to fight?
Because they hate him. Like I've been saying this for years. John's family hates him.
Well, obviously, his older sister at least likes him enough to house him.
If you don't want him to become a huntsman, you can at least teach him how to defend himself.
You can at least teach him some other or trade a craft like weapon forging, dust refining, some other sort of craft.
But they don't. They let him go to a huntsman school, even though he has never been to a huntsman school. Like
he's never been to a preliminary school.
They're sending him to a military without any like boot camp training. Like that's
Yet somehow he's a tactical genius, despite never showing off.
No. Zhuge Liang is a tactical genius. Qin Yu is a tactical genius. Chao Shao is a tactical genius. Jean is
a dumbass who got lucky.
Yeah.
Basically.
And also, sorry about all the Chinese names. I've been FGO has a new event in Japan about China, so that's why I listed them off.
When I think of Jean, I think of my friend's comparison between Peyton Manning and Eli Manning. Peyton Manning's actually good at football. Eli Manning just happens to run in the right direction with everything he does. Like, he stumbles into success, basically.
And John is the third Manning, which we forget the name of.
I'm sorry, you just can't make John bounce back after all the shit he's done.
Yeah, definitely.
That line that he said to Pyrrha about wanting to become a hero but not wanting to work to become a hero sealed his fate for me.
Yeah,
John arc soiled him for me.
I've never really... Yeah, I'm trying to think of a time where I was behind John. I think Volume 4 kind of, he won me over a little bit. And then Volume 5, he didn't do anything until the very end, and then he kind of lost me again. But yeah, so far this volume, I've just been like, I do not give a shit about John anymore. Like, I'm
John
done.
Hasn't defended me either, so John isn't defending me as far as I can tell.
Like, he's not offensive anymore?
No.
He's just dull.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's uninteresting.
He should be.
He's a harem protagonist is what he is.
Basically.
No, I've seen harem
exactly
protagonists with more charisma than him.
Good point.
Yeah, like, what's his face from Vampire Rosario?
Yeah. Or Issei. Issei has some likability on some level. That's saying something.
Or
Jesus.
Tenchi? Is that his name?
Tenchi Muya.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
That show.
Tenchi was kind of fun.
That was a fun
Yeah.
show.
Funny though.
Yeah, he is.
But yeah, it's like... I don't quite know what's going on, but...
And then there's also Ren and Nora, who really shouldn't be here anymore.
Nora is only purpose in this show is now to be the lady of the lampshade. Like, that's all she does is call out the obvious problems with the show as a joke.
Or,
Like
or be the goofy one. Yeah.
her voice is kind of grating on me now.
Yeah.
Even more than ever. That scene where she just runs up, screams, and hugs Oscar is kind of annoying.
I'm like,
Lost boy!
yeah, that was a little disturbing. Like, calm the fuck down, Nora.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
why are you hugging this 14-year-old child, Nora?
Actually, I just realized something.
I need an adult. I am an adult.
That's
You
sad.
know, I just realized something.
What's that?
What would happen if we replaced her voice with Mako? Like from Kill la Kill? Because basically that's what the JP version did.
Well, she would sound bearable.
I mean, Mako is basically the absurd, crazy one in Kill la Kill.
Yeah, but Mako's actually funny.
But Mako was funny. Mako had an energy to her, and she was legitimately relatable in some level.
Yeah.
Why did Nora hug Oscar anyway? Did they ever talk?
Because she's the crazy one.
She's the crazy
Oh.
one.
What I know.
Oh god, I just realized something. If in Japan or America they do a gag where Nora does the Hallelujah thing from Kill la Kill, I'm going to scream.
Oh, don't give him ideas.
I don't want that either. Like, okay, Japan doing it, fine, that could be a cute little in joke, whatever. This America doing it, no.
So yeah,
But yeah, it's like all in all, in terms of what I can think about the show, the character stuff is growing, the animation's getting better, but there's still a lot of loose niggling ends.
And I still don't feel the bond between Team RWBY.
Yeah.
not particularly. No.
Yang and not Yang. I mean, like RWBY and Weiss's relationship is okay, but the other two are just
The other,
blah.
Yeah.
the other two feel a little forced.
It's
Well, what they're
Yeah,
probably going to be
it feels
doing is all of the
pointless.
emotional stuff until the climax.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, and I can say that Ruby's actually moved up in my list in terms of characters I like. Like, she's actually gone up the list quite a bit since this volume started.
Yang feels pointless. Like, why is she still here?
To be angry and yell at people.
For Blake.
I'm just waiting for the episode where she gets axed off. Hopefully,
But
because
they're never
that's the only thing she can do at this point.
they're never going to kill the main four
Mhm.
at least until the very end of the series.
Quite honestly, when you're looking at motivation, the only people who make sense to go after Salem is RWBY because she's just idealistic and naive, and what's left of Team Juniper. The reason that I agree, Juniper Team Juniper shouldn't be in the show anymore. The problem is they have arguably the biggest motivation for taking down Salem of any one of the main cast,
Yeah.
which makes it hard to write them out of the show. because you either need to kill them or you need to lead them to get their revenge somehow.
Yeah.
But they're not going to do either of those. So we're stuck with them. But I mean, with the rest of Team RWBY, what's driving them to beat Salem?
I think that about covers everything. Unless anybody else has anything they want to point out or talk about.
Yeah, not really.
The military are going to be antagonists until actual antagonists show up. Like,
Probably.
That's how the story's.
Also, wait, why wasn't Crow with them or somebody else? When at the end, when they were going to the power plant, why wasn't Crow or everybody else with them?
Yeah,
better yet, why wasn't Nora with them? They're going to an electrical place. If they run into somebody, Nora can just they can just throw Nora at the electricity and just boom.
That entire closing scene was just weird to me. It just came out of nowhere, and then boom, the episode ends. It's like, what the fuck just happened?
Why is the door open if it's just going to close immediately?
It should have been more like I said, and open, not and close a second set of doors. It should have been more like they close a second set of doors on them, not open and then close.
Yeah.
This is a military facility, not,
I was expecting some kind of closing statement before the episode ended, but just then suddenly it ends.
Yeah, because it immediately cuts to the four of them standing outside the gate, and then the episode just ends. I was like, that is such a weird ending.
Yeah, definitely.
That's probably my biggest complaint with this episode is the way it ended.
Yeah.
But even that's a smaller detail.
Makes me really confident in my Rubingo. I'm totally gonna win next week. I can feel it.
Yeah.
I hope they point out something about Blake, like Blake's the reason why they're not letting him in or something like that.
Well, Blake is. That would be interesting, but I doubt they're going to.
Well, think about it this, Luca. Would you want Blake anywhere near your place?
No. Considering she set her own house on fire, I don't want that bitch near anything of mine.
Everyone is set things on fire.
She also probably sheds.
Exactly. That scene where she says that she set her house on fire was on camera. The whole world saw it.
Literally everyone on Team RWBY, with the exception of RWBY, has committed arson at some point in the show.
Well, wait, when did Yang commit arson?
When did Weiss go? Oh, right, I remember now. Never mind.
Yang committed arson in the yellow trailer when she burned up. When she burned up Junior's club.
No,
well, she didn't burn it down. She beat the shit out of it.
Blew it up.
Oh, yeah.
So she's more of
with fire.
She's more of a terrorist, less of an arsonist.
Junior was within right to sue Yang, but he didn't. Wow.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Junior had Yang on multiple counts.
There's two cops in Vale though. Like, who would he tell?
And both of those cops are fucking idiots.
He has them on. He has her in what? Sexual assault, actual assault, property damage, arson, property damage.
Not leaving the premises when asked to, so trespassing.
Oh, assaulting all the other people in the bar.
Underage drinking.
Underage drinking.
Well, actually, you would probably want to leave the underage drinking out because he provided the drinks to her, which would incriminate him.
She also brought a gun to a club. That's not okay in Courtier.
Yeah, especially after what happened in Orlando.
Oh, yeah, and does she legally own those firearms? Are those registered?
Probably registered at least.
These questions and more will not be answered.
Our Lord and Savior, Miles Bruno, praise be to his name.
I kind of want this volume to end with this just Salem going, enough's enough, appearing right in front of Team RWBY and going, yeah, I'm here to kick your asses. And then dumping the weird dress for something really dumb.
Like black armor or something.
Yeah.
To be fair, black armor could be nice, so.
Yeah.
Not with that hairstyle.
Honestly, I really hope they give a very good justification of why they just threw them away because, Team RWBY's a bunch of kids. You know what they also have? They also have a veteran huntsman. They also have the Ozpin, who, I'm sorry, definitely knows code words. And when a 14-year-old starts spouting out code words that a 14-year-old should not be able to do, it's going to raise some questions, and that's going to get people.
Oh my god, guys.
They also have a living legend.
Guys, it just dawned on me. What? John and Oscar are now together in a house, which means we're about to get that scene of John pushing Oscar pin against the wall.
Yep.
Oh, harder.
Probably next episode.
Oh God.
Also, by the way, can I have one more thing to talk about? Why is Crow getting so much shit from everyone? Like, holy fuck.
Yeah, it's getting bad.
Like Maria was like, I base my weapon off of you, or I'm a disappointment, so you're halfway there already. I'm like, fucking hell, lady, this guy is saving your life.
Yeah, I'm starting to think something is going on with Vic. Anyway, I gotta go. See ya.
I think it was a double jab. It was a jab at her and also a jab at Crow for aspiring to be her, because she's like, I'm a disappointment. Why would you aspire to be like me? I think that's the way I took it.
One's a compliment, the other one's a fuck you.
Well,
that's like self-deprecating and an insult at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, that line didn't bother me. I mean, could it have been done better? Sure, but it didn't bother me that much.
I'm sorry. I just can't stop thinking about that John Oscar pin scene that's coming up.
So,
oh God, I am dreading that scene.
I know what it's gonna. I can actually probably predict what it's gonna be about, because they're going to say, "Hey, Ozpin doesn't have a plan," and you know what that means? Pyrrha died for nothing.
Yeah, basically.
It's going to be. It's going to be off screen.
Huh?
Or another recap episode where they explain to the rest of Team Juniper over a 5-minute exposition scene everything that just fucking happened.
Actually, no, I don't think they're going to do that, because so far they have done the off-screen conversation tidbits, like with Cinder and Neo. Everything that Cinder explained was said off-screen, and we just got the tail end of that conversation. Well, that one-way conversation.
Thank God, by the way.
I feel so bad for Oscar. He got punched by Crow, and now he's about to get hurt by
John. Yeah.
Nobody deserves that. Nobody.
But they still need him. Like, the way I see this working out is they have 4 tickets into Atlas. Granted, one of them, John's sister-in-law, has already been expended pretty much, because I think they've already tried that. But they have Crow, who's connection with Ironwood. They have Ozpin, who has connection with Ironwood, and then they have Weiss with connection to either Winter or the Schnee Dust Company. So, yes, one of them has been found, but they still have 3 tickets. Oscar is one of those tickets, so they can't really
justify him.
Squander that.
Oh yeah, did they say if Winter was in Argus or not?
They hinted it, but
they hinted, yeah.
Okay.
But either that or Weiss literally can just walk up and be like, "Yo, I'm a Schnee, let me in."
Also, by the way, I love the fact that they were turned away when the hey, there's a bounty for Weiss's head, and then the military outpost literally turns her away. Like,
yeah. Actually, you would think there'd also be a bounty for Blake, considering she's a well-known member of the White Fang. So they double failed.
Yeah, an active terrorist organization.
Ladies and gentlemen,
no, they've recanted. They're under new management. Al-Qaeda's under new management, so just ignore everything else.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is why nothing in RWBY will ever get done. Even the military is incompetent.
Wait, why does Mr. Schnee care?
In RWBY.
Why does Mr. Schnee care about getting Weiss back?
Well, he could still use her.
He doesn't? Did the guards know that?
Dude, good sir. Marriages.
Yeah, exactly. Marriages.
He's evil and has a mustache.
It's political marriages. I'm sorry, if you're a high-ranking family and you have a daughter, that shit is a gold mine of political marriages.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But what's she good for, though?
They're in a post-feudal society. Like, marriages really don't play that much importance in today's.
You
say that.
But I'm going to
bit and cause a scene too. So there's no point in trying to get her back.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like he's all about what benefits the company, and Weiss doesn't benefit the company in any way.
So you think Whitley's gonna stab Jacques in the back?
Of course.
Like actual stab, not theoretical stab, literal stab.
Well, he has a
most
vest.
likely.
That's
no, he'll probably pay someone to do it.
Or better yet, he'll pull a Seto Kaiba, take over the company, and then Mr. Schnee will commit suicide because he lost his company to a child.
Then he'll turn it into a card game.
I'm sorry though, but the Seto takeover was actually fucking fantastic.
I know.
That was some grade A nice shit. So
so yeah, Whitley and Mr. Schnee will duel.
Duel.
Jock will summon 5-headed dragon.
And then it'll be revealed that Mr. Schnee had a secret son that was really into Jesus
His illegitimate bastard son.
Oh no, that one's legitimate, but he's a vegetable.
Oh no, the illegitimate robot son was Penny.
You mean,
my god.
Jeez.
It all makes sense now.
So we're saying Penny's.
How did we not realize it sooner?
Oh my god.
Personally, I kind of want to see Penny's create. Like if they bring in like Penny's creator.
Didn't they show him in Volume 3?
Yeah.
That old guy? Oh.
Yeah, an old guy in a chair just watching that shit.
And he had a line in Volume 1.
Mm-hmm.
That 2D art placement at the end of Volume 3 was so awful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Especially Mr. Snee. Just sitting next to Weiss.
I am Jacques. I speak for the Schnees.
I am the Lorax.
It's like, god damn it. But
or skinny Colonel Sanders.
There are things that I can complain about more, but they're all just personal preferences things.
So yeah, there is another thing we can complain about. The lack of ironwood.
Oh, gosh darn it! I've been waiting all November for some good ironwood, and I've been denied.
Actually, that would have made that
probably come back next episode.
That last scene would have been made better if it was actually him walking up to like greet them, like, "Oh hey, like Weiss, I haven't seen you in a minute."
No. He moonwalks in like that scene from Fat Man's Bridge series.
Okay. But
Okay.
Let's also do another thing that's going to be kind of obvious. Ironwood will have a beard.
Yeah.
They've been growing that for too long.
So, back to
be fair though, he looks decent with the 5 o'clock shadow.
Yeah, he does. You think Glinda's gonna get name brought back?
No, she's dead to us.
Yeah, she's basically dead to everybody.
Yeah.
Well, they could just do the same thing they did with Mercury and get a new VA. I mean, they have access to Funimation, so I don't see why not.
I think for Glinda, I think they should just dip into one of their in-house talents or whatever, not pay another Funimation actor.
Glinda has too clear of a voice. Like
they have in-house talent.
You know what I mean?
Talent in quotations.
In quotations, sure.
Well, their biggest talents are Joel, Shane, and maybe Bernie. Like Bernie's a good voice actor, all things considered.
And I would contend Miles's voice acting at times can be good. It's just he happens to also be playing Sean, who is not, at least as far as the rest of us are concerned.
Was the goal for his John to make John even more punchable than he already is?
Make John great again, except he failed.
Like the only character I genuinely like that has Miles' voice is that guy from Camp Campo whose name I forgot.
David.
Never watched Camp Camp.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
First season's good. Second season's meh.
All right, I didn't even bother with the third season.
It's an anthology show, so it's kind of weird on that end.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I just realized more Yu-Gi-Oh! Parallels with the Schnees. The Schnee family semblance is that they can summon.
Oh.
And the obsession with blue and white.
Oh my god.
Right itself.
What's happening?
He just pulls out Blue Eyes White Dragon.
Oh. If she pulls out a dragon, I'm sorry. You will not get me to watch another episode of RWBY.
She'll be way overpowered by that. I mean, because what can she summon right now? A Borbotusk, a Wasp,
and the Knight.
And the Knight.
The apathy. So can she summon the apathy now?
No, she didn't. Oh wait, you're right.
She burned it to death. So.
If she can summon the apathy right now, I'm sorry. With what we have shown and what the high tiers of RWBY are capable of, and what we have seen as the like veteran huntsman level, Weiss solos no rematch. I'm sorry.
Why don't they just have?
Summon apathy? Boom, stab. We're done here.
The rest of Team RWBY's job is literally to protect Weiss while she summons.
Why doesn't Team RWBY just go around, beat up random Grimm, then just have Weiss finish it off?
Because that would be
Grimm.
unique Grimm Borbatusk.
Wait, did Weiss kill? Did Weiss kill any of the Manticores?
It's a boar.
Wait.
Yeah,
so
she
does
killed
that
a
mean that? So does that mean Winter is Mokuba?
Huh? Oh my god.
Because she sure does get told to shut up a lot and just go away often.
She's introduced into the plot of RWBY just to be told to go away. That's literally what happened in Volume 3.
Oh god, she is Mokuba.
Oh my god, the parallels, they keep coming. We
Make
were
them
joking,
stop.
you know, like,
The joke's gone too far. It's taken a life of its own.
Even Mr. Snee kind of looks like Kaiba. Kaiba's dad. I forgot his name. Gozabora Kaiba. Gozabora.
He also
His
kind
name
of
is Gozabora?
Yeah.
Oh, that's news to me.
In the 4Kids dub, at least. I don't know what it is.
I was also going to say, he's kind of similar to Lucy Hart-Filia's father, because he's a rich business mogul that wants his daughter to do exactly as she says. And like Lucy, she could summon, like, fucking monsters and shit.
Oh, wait, she's even friends with a midget. RWBY's the midget, by the way. Kind of.
Well, actually, isn't Weiss shorter than RWBY?
I don't know which one of them is taller.
yeah, in the Manticore fight, because I actually got all the kills. Weiss killed 2 Manticore, had a shared kill with RWBY, and got 1 assist. Assisted kill.
On second thought, I don't think we should continue comparing the shows, because that would mean that Yang is Joey, and I don't know if I'd like that. Yeah, but Joey is actually funny. And likable.
Oh yeah, the comparisons.
And he died.
Although, if you think about it, Joey ends up with a girl that kind of reminds me of Yang. My Valentine.
No, she was like she kind of looked like her, but that's about it.
The hair and the hair and the boobs. The only comparisons I can make to him.
Also, Joey survived getting struck down by the gods. Like, remember that one scene where
Joey was a fucking, like, I'm sorry, I didn't really like Joey until that scene, but when the man stand up after getting smited by a Raw, like, holy fuck.
That was the fucking most badass moment of the entire show.
Exactly. Like, people, like, I'm sorry, but, like, what was it? I had a joke, but, Ozpin, I found a great reaction image, like, Ozpin before people bring logic into his argument.
He actually got smited
wait. Ozpin afterwards.
What is that image?
Oh, it's from a like parody of Yu-Gi-Oh.
No. The bottom image. Like, what is the context of that?
You know, like the whole like anime, like side screen, like where they split the screen. Yeah. Like it's like that. It's like Joey in this parody was like, "Geez, Yugs," and then this screen split and his face got stuck on it. that was here. Let me get the actual video.
Like, Joey got struck by Raw twice.
Like,
yeah, he got struck by it during the Odeon match, and then struck by it during the Merrick match.
Like that. The guy is, in a word, a fucking G.
That Merrick match was bullshit, though.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he was this close to beating Merrick, and then suddenly he passes out because the plot says so. Can't have Joey beating the main bad guy, because then Yugi won't get to do anything.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the logic, and it's sound.
Oh, no, this video is actually one of the funniest parodies of Yu-Gi-Oh! Ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I've seen this video. It's amazing.
I'll have to give it a watch.
I did like that because it did kind of show that, at least, especially in the sub, that Joey like was actually not worthy as a duelist, and Kaiba even again in the sub accepts him as a duelist in that moment. Like, yeah.
Meanwhile, in the 4Kids dub, he's all like, "Oh, now I know how Raw works."
Fucking, we don't talk about the 4Kids dub.
I hated that shit.
I know. Someone just died, you bastards! What the hell?
Like,
well, nearly died, but yeah.
Like, Again, Joey went from someone who only knew how to throw out monster cards to being like the third nationally ranked duelist on the planet.
Yeah, with two of them being like immortal gods, basically.
Yeah, the top two other people being Kaiba, who is a prodigy of epic proportions by himself, and a literal god who's been reincarnated from 5,000 years.
And Kaiba was also reincarnated from another.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yep.
Oh yeah, he was the advisor, wasn't he?
Yeah,
I believe so.
Also, a weird fucking show.
So Duelist Kingdom.
It's
Yu-Gi-Oh's
weird,
weird.
but it's fun.
Yu-Gi-Oh was fun. I'm sorry, it embraced how over the top.
And there were also a few moments that were actually genuinely good, like like Kaiba's story. I like that line where he's really upset over Gozabora stealing his technology and compared it to his soul getting taken.
Oh, I personally like the ones one of the later scenes where like the Seal of Orichalcos thing, where Yami uses that seal and he loses Yugi. Like when he actually like loses like the Yugi part of his soul and he just breaks down. I'm sorry, that was great. That was great.
That was great.
It was one of the few genuinely good moments to come out of the Orichalcos arc.
Oh yeah.
However, the arc that had absolutely nothing good in it was that filler arc from season 5.
We don't talk about that.
The random fucking tournament with what was his name?
I just call him
who gives a fuck?
For his name, Frenchie. Let's just call him that.
Guy who wants to steal Kaiba's business, number 7.
Yeah.
Remember, guys, I still remember the Twitch watches Yu-Gi-Oh! That duel against Kaiba where he's threatening to commit suicide if he loses. Everyone in the chat, do a backflip.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Is really fucked up when you think about it. I think I said this
Wait, are we still recording or did you end it?
I'm still recording. I was about to say, like we've gone way off track. So, alrighty, folks, that is the end of our discussion, and we shall see you all next week, possibly.